Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bonding with Ashley. I'm Ashley Bond. Today, we are going to talk about a few things that I think can enhance our emotional well-being and tackle a little bit those feelings of loneliness. We've all heard studies. We are in a loneliness epidemic. I have mentioned before how prevalent being single is going to be. I think I want to dive more into the current stats on relationships and what is currently going on in the world and the direction that's going. I find it fascinating that I am seeing more and more things about how people are seeking out community. I think people are seeking out human interaction and communication. And there's an aspect of that that has to do with physical touch. I think what's interesting is, and I don't know that everyone who lives in a household with a bunch of people or has kids, and everyone has different parameters, etc. But when you think about a single person living alone, and you think about a person who is partnered, they live together, they see each other, there may also be kids there. Even if you don't get the chance to see each other all day, every day, there is an element of interaction and someone that you have to have small, minute conversations with or a passing touch. And so I find it interesting and a difference for single people. So there's a few things that I think would benefit people to do, especially single people, on a regular basis. One of the first things is there is a study that said people need 8 hugs a day for overall happiness and well-being. I find that fascinating because I am a hugger myself. And I don't think that I give or get 8 hugs a day. So when you really think about that, 8 is a decent number, but apparently they found this number. So my suggestion is when you have close friendships and you see them, I hug coworkers that I haven't seen in a long time. And again, you have to do what's comfortable for you. I think if you're not a hugger and you want a handshake or a fist bump or something, I think that would probably help fulfill that as well. It's just something to keep in mind, and something to keep in mind for other people who get that all the time. Think about your single and unattached friends also. That's one thing. Another study found that having a 12-minute conversation with a friend, a loved one, somebody that you trust every day can change your whole day, can positively impact your whole day. 12 minutes. Everyone is extremely busy. We are all in a time where it almost feels like there's just never enough time for everything. But I encourage people to seek out interaction every day, especially if they're in a moment of need or they need to talk something through. I've talked about stress before, and I think if you can have a friend or a mentor or someone that you trust and get that 12-minute conversation in every day, or at least a few days a week, I think that would positively impact people's lives. And it makes you feel connected to one another, your community, your friendships. Because at the end of the day, yes, there are some friendships that I don't need to talk to them every day. However, there are some friends that I would really just genuinely love to hear their voice. So maybe it's not even someone that you get the chance to talk to all the time, but I encourage you to reach out to someone on both ends of the spectrum. Whether you feel like you're all caught up with everybody, make sure you reach out to a person that maybe you haven't talked to in a while. And if you are someone who feels like you need some support and comfort from someone, please reach out. Don't sit there in a loneliness spiral. Another thing that I find really interesting is Andrew Huberman was on one of Jay Shetty's podcasts, and he talked about the power of a morning text. And I find this absolutely fascinating. He does a lot of research and studies on dopamine. You know, I think at this stage with technology, our phones have created a dopamine loop. I think there's a dopamine hit to receiving a text, to, waiting for a notification or getting a notification. And so I find it really interesting and fascinating, his thoughts on the morning text. And he suggests that you should have 1 to 3 people that you always send a good morning text. So it goes both ways. Like, if you have 1 to 3 people, you each send each other a good morning text. And he said the conversation doesn't even need to continue beyond that, but it sets your day up in a feel-good way. And what it does is creates an expectation that is being fulfilled and gives a feeling of safety and acceptance. And it comes from a reliable place. That person's being reliable, you are being reliable. And so it creates a feeling of fulfillment, safety, and acceptance. And I think that's something that everyone today wants, to feel safe and fulfilled. And I love the idea of the good morning text. You find someone to do a good morning text with. And I would be curious to see how it actually impacts your day. I know I love when I wake up and I have a text from a friend. It makes me excited, kind of kickstarts my day in this great way. Knowing that there's somebody that I care about and cares about me. And I think that's a really nice feeling. So I encourage you guys to seek that out. And if you do, let me know what you think. But those are 3 things: hugs, 12-minute conversation with a friend, and the good morning text. Have a great day, everybody. If you do any of those things, let me know how it goes.